So a lovely rainbow has just appeared, and hot on its heels, the rain from the shower. Really interesting weather. You know, there's ice on the ground. There's these showers floating about now. There's no snow up on the tops. It's still maybe a wee bit too warm for that, but I think it is to get it a bit chilly as the day goes on, and later this evening. And I started today from the River Valley. This is a favourite old spot for me at the old schoolhouse. And I haven't been here maybe for a couple of years, because I've sort of been accessing the Bluestacks from the south, from the Lough Belshade side. So it's nice to come back here. There's some new signage at the old schoolhouse. And I didn't know it was built in 1907. It was actually built by locals. A lot of locals volunteered and built it just because there was a need for it. And it was a one-teacher school. And at times during the year there was maybe 40 or 50 young people registered. And it actually kept going up into the 1970s. When probably that was about as far as it could get, I would think. But really nice to know a wee bit more about it. I just love days like this. You've got the blue sky, you've got, if you can see in the distance, you've the big high white shower clouds. And they come this way, that's okay. Now there's the gentlest of breezes up here, and that's just reminding me of actually how cold it is. Because coming up there it was really still and it was really warm. I've been keeping the GoPro inside my jacket, usually keep it outside. Just I find if there's any low temperatures at all, it switches off even at 80%, saying low battery. So hopefully keeping it in here, I'll save any hassle of having to try and change batteries or to get it working. The gator's on today. The ground is absolutely sodden, as it usually is up here in the Bluestacks, but probably even more so because there has been so much rain. Part of me's thinking, will the wee camp spot at Lough Belshade be okay if the level of the loch is the way up? But I think it will be. It looked like it wasn't a place that was underwater. So that's Glascarns Hill just up there, and that's where I'm heading next. Getting a bit of rock now to walk on instead of the bog. And it's just a wee bit of care because there is a wee bit of slippiness around it as well. The last time I came up this way, the plan was to climb up to Croaghbane and then follow this ridge, which is a pretty cracking ridge down. Now when I was here last time, it was wet, it was misty, it was dark, but that gave a really fantastic feeling of ascending down this steep ridge, sort of lost in the mist. and then dropping off steeply down there. And the plan was to find a camping spot down at the Lough, which didn't pan out because the ground is absolutely awful down there. And I actually ended up just going over that wee bit of high ground and getting a half decent spot. But I think this is one of the best views in the Bluestacks. Just this big, well, probably eastern facing, I think, corrie, with the Lough just on the side of Glascarns Hill. Had another rainbow telling me of more impending showers. I've done pretty well. I've only really had the one shower to start. So the cloud has sort of closed in up here at the summit of Croaghbane. This is up around 640 metres, but nothing too much in terms of rain as yet. This is Lough Duff, and this is pretty much at the summit, and a really good source of water. I've actually camped up the summit here before, and I've used this for water. So it's just a matter of heading up the summit, and then it's a bit of a drop down to Croaghbane and Lough Belshade. My first views of Lough Belshade, just straight down, and in the background you can see Lough Esk. There's some lovely rays of light coming down just with that shower passing, and for the first time as well I can see out to the coast of southwest Donegal as well. Absolutely beautiful weather today. Really cold up there. I probably should put my gloves on, shouldn't I? Really cold up there at the top with that shower passing, the breeze picking up. But it's sort of slowed down a wee bit as I've dropped off. Yeah, just beautiful light and beautiful air. Really good clarity and visibility with that northwesterly wind. Some really cool wee lochs over there on the summit of Croaghbane. My backup plan, if somebody is down at the spot at Lough Belshade, fingers crossed there isn't, is to camp over there. There's three lochs. I think that would be actually quite cool. But my heart's set on going back down to Lough Belshade. I've had a wee quick up and back to the summit of Croaghbane, and these are two of the lakes here around the summit area, and I have had a good look round. I'm not seeing anything jumping out at me in terms of, you know, a good pitch, and there is a wee bit of a breeze here which is coming up from the valley. I don't know if I'm just thinking, well, I want to make it that I'm going to Lough Belshade. I think I probably am. Maybe up around here would be better. Maybe it was a bit drier, maybe a bit later on in the year. I think it would be a lovely spot. I suppose a plus for here is that it'll get the light for a bit longer in the evening and a bit earlier in the morning than away down in Lough Belshade with the high walls of the mountain around. But I did have a look over on the way up, and the wee spot where I camped before is free. I would go back over and there's somebody there. I might go over and start a row with them. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I've made it. It's 4:05, so I think sunset's about 25 past. So I've actually got my timings pretty much spot on, which isn't always the case for me. Absolutely beautiful here. Look at that. Look at that. Good decision, I think, not to look for a spot on the top of Croaghbane. Quite calm down here. You've got the reflection of the clouds on the loch. Wee camp spot is just here, so absolutely perfect. There's definitely more water in the loch than there was last time. There was a lot more sort of sandy shore here, and when I was walking up, the loch had sort of came in a bit more, so it meant sort of skirting round. There was a bit of a gentler descent this time. I sort of came down over there. The last time I came down up there, down that gully, nearly in the dark. I nearly wrecked myself, so much better this time. So I'll get everything set up while it's still light, and then get a brew on. It's 5 o'clock, I have the tent up, but wouldn't you know it, just as I was starting to put it up, the heaviest shower of the day come on, so I had to hunker down a wee bit. Just that went over, but all set up now and all happy, and I've got tea in the go. A beautiful evening, really still. I think you can maybe see a wee bit of the loch there, but there's hardly a thing moving on it. There's still a wee bit of blue sky just about up behind the mountains. I have a fair bit of time on my hands, so I've actually brought 2 dinners. So I stuff for a fry, and then I have my usual noodles and tuna. So that might put some time in doing a bit of cooking. We'll see. It's nearly 6:30, so I've had one dinner. I couldn't be bothered making a fry, maybe in the morning. but it's absolutely beautiful. There's lovely clear sky, full of stars. I've been walking about just on this wee bit of beach with the head torch off, just looking up at the stars, and you can actually see the stars reflected in the loch as well. And there's no other light, so it's only natural light apart from the light I'm using at the minute, and it's already started to freeze. So that was another reason for moving around the beach, just to try and keep warm. Yeah, so I think I'm going to get in the tent, and I've got my down sleeping bag, of a down jacket I'll put over around my feet, and my down booties. So hopefully that'll keep me warm, and obviously I'll stay fully clothed as well. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Good morning. It's about 8:45, so just about sunrise. Though there's been night about maybe for the past hour or so. Quite a cold night. You can see there's a bit of ice in the tent, but I was pretty toasty and warm inside, especially my feet, with those 3 layers of down, keeping them nice and warm. There was 1 or 2 showers during the night, but nothing much. So I even though I was in the tent maybe for what, about 12-13 hours, it was still I think a reasonable experience, and well worth it to spend the night out here. Certainly yesterday evening, and it's an absolutely glorious morning as well. Just the sun coming up, you can see there's a bit of a tinge of red in the clouds, and there's just the hints of light up on the tops of the hills there. So tea time, breakfast time, might have that fry, might not. All sorted, and I have to say the fry was the fry was a nice addition. So the Weetabix stayed put, but certainly a bit more effort to do than just some cereal. I've probably been hanging around here far too long this morning. It's after 10 o'clock, can you believe? So I've been up and about here a couple of hours. but again, it is just so beautiful. Really, really still. Sun's up. The frost and ice are starting to disappear, though my toes still have a bit to go. So that's where I was at, and this is a fantastic wee camp spot here, and no doubt I'll come back again. And really interesting, after the last video that I did here, there was quite a few other people said that they had been and camped here as well. And part of me thought, wow, I thought I was the only one that knew about this place, or had been here. But I suppose it just shows there's a lot of people out doing wild camping around the Irish Hills and Mountains, and have knowledge and sight of some of these amazing, fantastic places. I've picked a tough out slog to start this morning, climbing straight up along this stream. But as you can see, there's some absolutely lovely wee waterfalls, and there's a view back down over Lough Belshade, which is pretty cool. I'm up on the ridge. That's Croaghbane there, the highest mountain in the Bluestacks. Away over there, across Donegal Bay, you've got Ben Bulben and the Sligo Mountains. I can see clearly down to the south to the long flat top of Coca Mountain. Some lovely looking cloud inversions in the valleys away in the distance, and can round over to the Sparran Mountains, and look at the Derry Mountains over there, the big line. Just absolutely beautiful light today. Wee bit cooler up here. There's just the tiniest of wee breezes, which has dropped the temperature away down, and it's noticeably more sort of frozen and icy just the higher up I've got. So I'm going to head over. This is Ardnageer southwest top. I'm going to head over to Ardnageer, and then over back towards Croaghbane where I came up today, but I'm going to veer off and pick up the river that I'm going to follow back down into the valley. I've just stopped for a brew, and there's something really satisfying, I think, about just stopping and going through that process of boiling water and making tea, just to slow down and just sit. And I've been sitting here maybe for about 20 minutes, and it's so still. And there's actually heat in the sun, even though the lock down there is frozen. And when I was up on Ardnageer, I heard voices, and I thought they were like really close, but it was two guys up on the summit of Croaghbane, and I had a chat with them down at the loch there. So they're from Tyrone, and they're hoping to do the sort of Bluestack Ridge walk today. So I'm back at the old schoolhouse, just as it's getting dark. It's about 4:45. So that was a walk of just over 19 kilometres with about 1,000 metres of climbing, and I've been out for about 30 hours, which has been a 30 hours well spent. Absolutely fantastic trip. Beautiful weather. Even with the cold I think, and the sunshine, so it wasn't too cold, but the ground was froze. There was that ice in the lochs and stuff. That was really cool. Fantastic to go back to Lough Belshade. That is an amazing camp spot. And I think I said it last time, it was probably one of the best camp spots I've ever been at, and that just reinforces it. But I'll maybe leave a wee bit of a space before I come back, just maybe let some other people sort of take advantage of it. Bluestack's always fantastic, well worth visiting, and the fact that I only saw 2 people on this trip at a weekend tells you that if you do come here, you'll pretty much have the place to yourself, and it'll be really peaceful and really still. So fantastic trip, fantastic camp, first one of 2024, and I've a few plans for some more during the year. So until then, bye bye.